So after leaving Santorini, my next stop was the island of Crete, and I was heading to the capital. Arriving later in the day, I first had to check into my hotel. Now this place was fantastic. Great location and an incredible room. So in Crete, going for a walk, first night, just going to check out the location, see what's around, find something to eat, and yeah, get my bearings for the next couple of days. Now, don't let these empty streets give you the wrong impression. The weather has been extremely hot, so like most of my trip, sometimes it can look a little quiet. So there seems to be an outdoor market going on tonight, and there's a lot of people out and about. They're selling bits and pieces like craft things by the look of it. So it had been a long day and I was hungry. So time for dinner. The food here is delicious, familiar but distinct and just so tasty. After dinner, I was treated to a live performance in the city square.
Λευτέρη, 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 σε έχω στα μπάρι στο παλιό μου το Δευτέρη. Λευτέρη, 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 μη κοροϊδεύεις και έχω γίνει πια ξεφτέρη. Βάλε μυαλό, για κάνε μου τυρκάρι, βάλε μυαλό, δικό μου παλικάρι. Στάματα πια να κάνεις το λιοντάρι, στάματα πια σε πήραμε καμάρι.
A good night's sleep, and I woke up to what some would say is the best hotel buffet in Europe. And I have to say, it was so delicious. After breakfast, I jumped on a tour bus and headed to one of Crete's most visited sites. A place that I'd read about for years in ancient Greek mythology and was looking really forward to get out and explore. The Palace of Knossos. This place dates back over 3,000 years and is famous in Greek mythology for its mythical labyrinth and the minotaur that inhabits it. The area was home to one of Europe's first civilizations, the Minoans, and has gone through changes over the years, from earthquakes, battles, and of course just age. Over time, the buildings have been partly restored to preserve this iconic location. Every step there was something else to see. And this place was just filled with so many stories of what once was. What amazed me the most is this place from mythology, the labyrinth, was real. Of course, I didn't find the Minotaur, but it does make you think, what was really here all those years ago? It's hard to believe that so much is still here, and the restoration work will ensure it remains for future generations. It really was an experience to come here and walk in the steps of the ancient ones, and well, of course, all the millions of tourists that have visited previously. Looking at the restored buildings, you get an idea of what it once looked like. Walking around here, you think of all the history, the myths, the legends, and then you see that there. So it's starting to get a bit hot again, but it's only like 10 a.m. Probably walking along on all these rocks doesn't help. When you're seeing sights like this, it's amazing. Now it was time to line up and head inside for a closer look. So these passages, I believe, lead to the labyrinth beneath. The throne room was a chamber built for ceremonial purposes during the 15th century BC. Now, a lot of areas are fenced off and tourists aren't allowed to enter, but you can still get a good view. You can see the Minotaur's labyrinth stretch out from around the palace, although it is hard to kind of distinguish what is what, as a lot of the buildings have crumbled over time. So I'm glad I got here early and did that part of the tour, because there's a massive lineup and I don't think I'd want to be standing there now waiting to get in. So it gives me a bit more free time now just to check out some of the other areas. How people are all standing there. Now it was time to head back into the city. My next discovery was the Gate of St. George. Built between the years 1562 and 1566, this allowed access from the town to the countryside. Inside is a gallery that hosts exhibitions of painters, photographers, and sculptors. A little more exploring, and it was time to go in search of the Lion's Fountain. During medieval times, the town often faced water shortages, so a Venetian noble constructed a 15-kilometre aqueduct which brought water to the fountain. Now, the water coming through, you can't drink anymore, but it still is an amazing thing to see. This glass tile shows a slight glimpse of what lies beneath, although it was a little hard to see. Well, now it was time for a little bit of a break and time to get something to eat and drink. Great view, sun setting. Gonna see if I can find somewhere to eat around here. Looking out at the ocean always makes things seem to be better, even if it is a little windy. Day 3, and it was time to go and do some more exploring. This structure has the typical stylings of Venetian architecture that you see around Crete and has been fully restored. The fortress, originally built in 1540, was armed with 18 cannons on the ground floor and 25 cannons on the pathway leading to the roof. So it's very windy up here and, well, still hot. Now, my first day in Heraklion has come to an end. I will be back later for one more day before I leave Crete, but it was time to get a good night's sleep so I could hit the road first thing in the morning. So I've just arrived in Hanya, and I've got to say I really wasn't expecting this kind of view. It's a really old town right on the water. It's incredible.